What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cassia Jones, and welcome back to my channel To Live and Date in LA. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you know I'm not about to waste y'all time, so let's jump right into this tutorial. I have my hair parted in 3 sections. This is pretty standard for me now whenever I'm doing crochet. I like to switch it up sometimes, so this time I'm going to do a little bit of leave out. As you can see, that little spot right there on my edges, it's a little sparse. So I think I've been going a little too tight on the edges whenever I'm doing my crochet here. So for this particular crochet, I'm going to leave out just little tiny pieces, sparse pieces of my edges, and the hair's naturally curly and kinky, so it'll be very easy to blend in with it. Again, they're very small pieces that I'm leaving out. You do not need to do this. This hair is so beautiful and curly that you would be able to get away with not leaving any hair out at all. I'm going to braid one half of my head, then the other half, and combine them together with the back. I'm doing a sort of like zigzag going across one side of my head, and then I'm going to do the same. So as you can see here, what I'm doing is taking one braid to start off with, which is going to be where my side part is, and then I'm doing that in like a U shape, and then I'm going to connect it to the next braid and just keep zigzagging across the side of my head on one side, then on the other, and connect them all in the back. I'm doing this and not really worried about the size of the braids because the hair that we are using is very curly and big and very voluminous. So you do not have to worry about the size of your braids underneath this crochet hair whatsoever. This braid pattern is really easy to do. As you can see, I got it done pretty quickly. I did speed up this video, so don't think I was braiding that fast, but I did get it done pretty quickly. Again, just not really caring about the parts, connecting the braids together and just keeping that same motion. You can do it. It's super easy. And if you don't want to do this pattern, don't do it. I just did it because I kind of like to switch up my patterns and experiment and see what I like best, and I've been doing that a lot lately. So I wanted to point out that I am starting off per usual on freshly washed, deep conditioned, and trimmed hair. I wash my hair, I deep condition, I blow dry, and I give it a tiny little trim every time I take my crochet out. This is what my braids are looking like now. This was the night before. So what I did is I took a little bit of Jamaican black castor oil. This one has rosemary in it, and I'm going to oil my scalp with it. I recommend oiling your scalp before you put your crochet hair in instead of after, so your scalp can actually absorb it instead of the crochet hair absorbing it. But do what works best for you. Alright, y'all, it is the next morning and we are about to get into this install. Listen, we're going to Paris, okay? We are going to Paris, France. So let's just grab all the crochet hair that we have. We're working with some passion twists. We're working with some deep wave. It's all by Freetress. We're going to put it all together and it's going to work, because what's best about the hair is that it's all curly and has a very kinky and voluminous texture. It's all going to blend together very well. So what I like to do, you've already seen this before. If you are new to my channel, you have not. I like to fluff out the crochet hair before I separate it. It makes it a lot easier, especially when you're dealing with curly crochet hair, because baby, the tangle is going to be tangling. See how it's tangling at the end? I was able to pull it apart because I fluffed the hair out by running my hands down the shaft of the hair. Then I'm going to take the hair and I'm going to begin my install. Very easy. You're going to make sure that you are not installing where the hair is even on both sides. Otherwise, you're going to get a very blunt look, unless you like that. I do not. I like to have layers within my hair. If you are trying this hairstyle for the first time, you are going to insert the crochet needle underneath your braid. You are going to pull the top through and form a loop, as I did here. You will see me forming that loop and then taking the bottom strands and pulling it through the loop. That's all you have to do. It's very easy and it's very quick. And once you start doing it, you are going to be getting this done in just a few hours. What's great about using textured hair when you're doing your crochet install is that you're able to do this. If you're using a straighter type of texture of crochet hair, you have to do it a little bit differently whenever you're knotting and pulling things through. So that's why I'm really loving using curly textured hair. I also like to use hair that mimics our natural hair state. And so what I'm going to do is do the whole back of my head, and then we'll come back and we'll see the front. So at the front of my head, I am going to do the single knot method. So that means when I am forming the loop, instead of pulling both strands of hair through, I'm only going to pull one through, and I am not going to be super tight with this because this is the edge of my hair. I am very worried about too much pulling and tautness on the edge of my hair. Crochet is a really great protective style, but you also don't want to go too hard whenever you're knotting your hair around the perimeter of your scalp. Remember, your hair is in a protective state and it is still sensitive, especially around the edges, which is why I left out a little bit of hair this time, because this hair is very thick and coarse and I want to protect my edges. So again, I'm going to go in and do the single strand knot method around the perimeter of my head, and I like to re-loop the pieces through my head because it, to me, forms this really great cohesive look around the perimeter. I wanted to take out the little pieces that I left out of my edges just to show you how easily it blends in. If you are worried about leaving out a little bit of your edges as I did, I wanted you to see that it's very minimal and it's really easy to blend it with this hair's texture. And also because I take these strands that are around the perimeter and re-loop them around, it gives scalpiana. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Baby, your girl's ready for Paris, okay? We almost there. We are almost ready. Look at that brown. It's looking fantastic. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, I'm gonna pull out my continuous sprayer by Pattern. I love this thing, and I'm going to spray this hair down because right now it's giving Diana Ross, and I love Diana Ross, but we're going to get to my favorite portion, which is the cutting portion, and I do not cut my crochet hair when it is dry. I want to see it wet. I want it to have a little bit more control over the hair so I can see exactly where I need to cut, and so I don't over cut the hair, which I have done so many times in the past. So I recommend that if you are going to be cutting your crochet hair, especially if it's a curly textured hair like this, to wet it down first, add some mousse, see it in its full regular curly state, and then get to cutting. Okay, y'all, look how long this hair is whenever I wet it. It's not even thoroughly soaked. Look how long this hair is. That's why I really recommend wetting and adding mousse to your crochet hair before you cut it whenever you have a curly textured hair like I'm using. So again, you're going to cut down and into the hair. I do not cut the curly hair blunt because I don't want it to be all one length. I like to have layers. I'm also going to fill in that part. As you can see at the top, it's looking a little sparse up there. The part is a little bit too wide for my liking, so I'm also going to fill in there as well. But yeah, for the most part, we're done. We're just going to cut and shape, and then I'm going to fill in the parts that are a little bit too wide and make sure that they are covered. So I'm going in with my Aussie Moist mousse. I love this mousse. It's cheap and it gets the job done. I like to go in because the hair dries pretty quickly, and I did wanted to keep it wet so I can see things like this, like those extra little strands that are at the bottom, any uneven spaces that look a little too crazy, like something's a little way too long or way too short, and so that I can see my parts and what needs to be filled in. And so this is our Paris hair. I mean, did I mention I'm going to Paris, y'all? I don't know if I said it, but your girl's going to Paris. I'm going to be there for a week. I am incredibly excited. I'm going to add a little bit of the mousse to the edges just so I can see what it looks like all curled up. But for the most part, your girl is done here. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer them. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to share, and I hope you all have a blessed day. Stay tuned because I'm going to insert a little clip of your girl in Paris with the curls. Let me just, there you are. And here I am standing in front of the Louvre in Paris with my curls. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing, blessed day, everybody. Bye.